Today we're going to read a book I really like. It's by a author and illustrator whose name is Deborah Musiro. She's a contemporary artist, which means she's working and living right now, and she lives in the United States. She lives in Chicago, Illinois. We'll add her to our passport when I come back. So this book is called In a Jar, and I really like this book for fourth grade. I always read this to my fourth graders because I think that you are entering a time of transition where you're remembering things that you have done over the last 5 years. Whether you were at Monterey or another school, you've done kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, and you're working on finishing up fourth grade, and then you're going to transition to a new school. And that can be really exciting, but it can also be a little scary. It's pretty normal to feel a little nervous about something new. So this book is about memories and thinking about memory, and it's also about transitioning, something that is tricky, but they figure out how to do it. I really love how Musiro draws her memories, and she draws lots of different jars. So I want you to just for a second look at the different shapes of jars we see. We see big jars like this one here. We see really skinny jars like this one with the shell in it or the thunderstorm. We see jars that are on their side. We see jars that are kind of bumpy, like these kids who are skiing, because with skiing, you go up and down hills. We see jars that are wide and have handles. We see ones that are round. We even see one that's in an arch shape. And if you look at the back cover, you can see there's all different sorts of jars again. I like this one here that has a waterfall in it. You can see how the shape of the jar kind of follows that. So that's something to think about as we go through the book. I want you to really be paying attention to how she's drawing her different jars. Okay, we're going to start. In a Jar by Deborah Musiro. Lewin was a collector. He collected things in jars. When he held a jar and peered inside, Lewin remembered all the wonderful things he had seen and done. So here we can see he's holding it, and that all the memory of this fall day is really surrounding him. He collected small, ordinary things like buttercups, feathers, and heart-shaped stones. One night, the sunset painted the sky the color of tart cherry syrup. Lewin ventured down to the shore with as many jars as he could carry. A little girl named Evelyn was there too. Lewin scooped that cherry light into his jars, and when he was done, he gave one to Evelyn. Evelyn took the jar home, and to her surprise, it glowed through the night with the memory of that sunset. From then on, Lewin and Evelyn collected things together. They collected things hard to hold, like rainbows, the sound of the ocean, and the wind just before snow falls. They collected things you might not even think would fit in a jar, but somehow they did. They collected the wonders of winter, the newness of spring, and the long days and shadows of summer. Over time, their jars filled the walls of Lewin's house. I love all the different jars. We talked at the beginning about the different shapes. Here's my waterfall one again. But you can see all the different jars he's using. Here's the big jar with the memory of the birds flying through the sunset. And we can see back here where they collected that jar. Here they are, and here's the sunset here. We see other ones that kind of reflect the time of day too. I have a sunrise coming up. I have, where's my thunderstorm? Oh shoot, I lost it. Here's a sunny day. Then there's the first snow of snowfall. We have a rainbow over here. Here's my thunderstorm over here in the corner. And you can see that Miss Sarah's using all different shaped jars. We have jars that are shaped to go around sunflowers or trees. We have jars that are rounded, right? So we have really round jars, like our butterfly jar or our cookie one is really round. We have jars that are tall, like my feather jar, right? Or my daffodil. This one over here with the falling star is actually an arch, right? Some of them have handles. So some of them are on their sides. So you can see how he's kept all these memories of different things he's done. Popsicles and boats on the water and dandelion seeds and seeing a fox out in the wild, and he's collected them in all different shapes and sizes. You are going to be thinking about a jar in a little bit, so you're going to want to think about the shape and the size and what will fit your memory best. So this is a good page to think about. But one day, Evelyn had sad news. Her family was moving to a new town. Too soon. It was time to say goodbye. I really like how Masiro uses color and like some shading in this book. We can see how warm and inviting this page is when the friends are together. But on this page, the sky is gray. It's windy. We can see her using like hatching lines and the trees are blowing away. Even the houses seem kind of a little like gray and close together when the friends are waving goodbye. So we see her creating mood with this transition of Evelyn moving. With Evelyn gone, Lewin's heart felt like an empty jar. This is an excellent use of mood on this page too. One night, Lewin lay awake. Falling stars glittered against the dark sky. He wondered if Evelyn could see them too. That gave him an idea. Lewin tiptoed out into the moonless night and collected the meteor shower in a jar. The next day, he prepared a package. When the box arrived and Evelyn opened the jar, the stars in the night sky fell around her. Evelyn knew just what to do. She collected the sounds, the crowds, and the bright night lights of her new home and sent them all to Lewin. And so, when the golden leaves of autumn began to fall once again, Lewin set out to collect a jarful for Evelyn. A little boy named Max was there too, and luckily, Lewin had brought an extra jar. So even though the transition of moving was hard on the friends, they found a way to be able to share and to work through it. Today we are going to be working on a jar that you are going to draw that is a memory from your time at school. It can be at this school. You don't need my messy mat yet. This school or another school. So you have been in schools from kindergarten through 4th grade, and we have done all sorts of good stuff. You have your specials like art and music and gym. You have field trips. Like I know you guys went to COSI on Wednesday and other special events in your classroom. You've had teachers that you've enjoyed. You've had lunches with your friends or recess with your friends. You've done all sorts of really good things. And you're going to think of a memory from school. The first thing you're going to do is write your name on the back. And then you're going to think about your jar. If you want your jar to be upright, to be vertical like this, you're going to hold your paper this way. If you want it to be on its side or you want it really wide, you're going to put it like this, okay? Either way is fine with me. I'm going to leave some jars next to me while I draw so I can kind of think about what I want. Everyone, though, once you have your paper turned the right way, is going to start with an oval, kind of an ellipse shape for the top of my lid. I'm going to draw this, and then I'm going to give you a second to draw yours on your paper. It doesn't have to be perfect. I can see that Merciero's lines are a little wobbly, and that's absolutely on purpose. That's part of her style. On the edge of the lid, I'm going to draw 2 vertical lines. If you want your lid to be bigger than mine, you can draw your lines longer. If you want it to be smaller, you can make it smaller. And when you're ready, you're going to draw 1 more curve underneath. If you want, she often does hatching, like little lines on her lids. And so if you want to add some little lines along the edge of your lid, you can. You do not have to. It is completely optional. Then I'm going to draw the neck of my jar. Some jars have very short necks, like these ones here. Some ones have longer ones, like this one, or even very long. So I'm going to draw 1 line on the side here and 1 line on the side here. But if you want it shorter, you can make it shorter. If you want it longer, you can make it longer. I will tell you to draw big and fill your page. If I come back and you have a teeny tiny jar like this on your page, I'm going to say, oh my goodness, that is so adorable. Now, draw a bigger jar, okay? So draw nice and big. All right, when you're ready, we're going to draw the body of your jar. If you want it to be kind of square, you can go this way. If you want it to be round like this one, you can kind of bell out more. If you want it to be straight up and down, you can kind of go out. But I'm going to draw the body of my jar and draw 1 line down here. You'll notice I'm going almost to the very bottom of my page, and then another line on the other side. And when I get to the bottom, I'm going to draw a little curve that connects the 2. Okay, now Merciero always draws a parallel line, an outline around the edge to make it look like glass. So I'm going to go right around the edge of my jar to give it that glass shape. All right. Now it's up to you. You are going to draw a school memory. It must be from school. A school memory in your jar. It cannot have words. It must be pictures. If you choose to draw people, they need to be full body. We've done 2 projects, a self-portrait and a portrait of a staff member that were full bodies. But you do not have to. I'm going to draw an art memory because that is what I do, but you can pick something else. So I'm going to draw clay because I know that's one of many students' favorite things. So I'm going to draw like a little block of clay here, and I'm going to draw some clay tools. I'm going to draw one of our clay tools that a lot of us have used. Maybe I'll draw one of those other tools here too. I'm going to draw a little cup of glaze and a paintbrush. So I'm filling my space with different shapes, right? And I'm drawing. I'm gonna put some like paint on there. Maybe I'll put some paint on the inside here. And then I'm gonna draw a couple clay projects. This year you guys made suns, so I might make a little sun. You do not have to do the same thing as me. I might also put a ladybug. That's the project I do with my kindergartners, if you were here in kindergarten, and it's a pretty classic clay project in my room. But you could draw a different project if you wanted. And again, you do not have to do the same thing as me. You should have your own school memory. You can brainstorm with a friend after I start talking. Okay, but you are going to fill up your whole jar.